is a 3D volumetric structure, different metallic wire medium, one-dimensional, two-dimensional, three-dimensional. Dielectric isomers which are composed as a regular structure. So there are many different structures. They should be performed in such a way that I repeat that the dimension of the single component of the element and the distance between two components should be much less than the regular electromagnetic wave. Another examples of materials, I have already shown you this one. This is the structure which was made by Professor Smith. He was a professor at those times, but now he is full professor. And another structure which was suggested by Chinese scientists, the dielectric spheres, which form this regular structure, and this is the wire medium, which consists of these wires which are directed in such a way. So this is the single cell elementary ячейка. Another, here are holes in the dielectric substrate, and here are cubes made from ferroelectric material on the dielectric substrate again. There are metamaterials. And now we have to consider some theoretical problems, how to describe the electromagnetic waves in mathematics. We have to define all these parameters. And we use for any electromagnetic wave description Maxwell equations. Maxwell equations are shown here, and I remind you what we have here. This is the operator nabla, and this part corresponds to curl of electric component of electromagnetic. Curl in Russian is rotor. This nabla in this case corresponds to rotor in Russian, curl in English. So E is electric field. I show you the dimensions of this, the units which are used for description and how it is usually, how it is used in simple. This is magnetic induction. This V. T is time. So this is derivative with respect to time, first derivative, from this parameter, magnetic induction. This equation corresponds to curl is applied to H, magnetic field. This is the electric displacement or electric induction. This is the electric current density. Again, this number corresponds to divergence, divergencia of this displacement. This is electric charge density. The same equation for magnetic induction, and important is that these two parameters, the electric displacement and electric field, are connected via the dielectric permittivity. The same for magnetic permeability. So epsilon is dielectric permittivity. It is measured in farads per meter. Magnetic permittivity is measured in Henrys per meter. And definition of all these parameters. I will send you, so you will have all these parameters. We will consider only lossless structures and consider the case when the electric current density is equal to 0, the same about electric charge density. So we will consider a simplified form of Maxwell equations for these two cases, for 0 current and 0 charge density. And now the definition of plain electromagnetic wave. Plain electromagnetic wave corresponds to the case when there is no variation along x and y axis. No variation. And we have variation of the electromagnetic wave only along z direction. Along z. So all components which corresponds to these derivatives are equal to 0. So we have to use only variation along z direction. And the Maxwell equations are simplified and have the following form. This is the left part, derivative with respect to time, and on the right side, and here is the electric part of the electromagnetic wave. And on the right side, we have magnetic part of the electromagnetic wave and the derivative with respect to coordinate z. So we have these two equations, and then we have to make a simple transformation to obtain these wave equations. How to obtain these wave equations? If we take derivative with respect to time from this equation, then we will have the second order derivative with respect to time from corresponding to electric part, and on the right side we will have derivative with respect to coordinate and with respect to time. With respect to time we have described by this equation. If we substitute this equation for another, we obtain such a kind of wave equation. What is important? This wave equation is written for only electric component of electromagnetic wave. The same by default is the same for magnetic component of the electromagnetic wave. So for the plain electromagnetic wave, we have two quite similar equations, which are named wave equations, and they can be solved, and I will show you how does it look, the solution of the wave equation. And here is a plain electromagnetic wave shown. You can see there are only two components. We have coordinate x and y. We have only x component of the electric part. This is the wave. Electric and magnetic part of the electromagnetic wave. We have only one component, y component. This wave lies or propagates in this way, containing only one component. They are in phase. You can see minimum of the electric field corresponds to the minimum of magnetic. Maximum corresponds to maximum. They are in phase, synchronicity, in phase. And if we consider electromagnetic wave density, we can show the electric field energy density, magnetic field energy density, because they are in phase with zero corresponds to zero energy at this point. And again, we have this pointing vector. I remind you, it is defined by this vector product of electric vector and magnetic vector of the components of the electromagnetic wave. And the solution to the wave equation can be written in such a way. It is easily to substitute this solution to the wave equation, and if you can see, it is this kind of solution corresponds to the wave equation. This is time, and this is coordinate z. So we have two variable parameters, time and coordinate. The electromagnetic wave depends on this both time and coordinate, because the wave propagates. So we have this dependence of the coordinate, and in time is oscillating, and we have this part which depends on time. What we have here. Omega is the frequency, and K is wave vector. In this case, when we have only one coordinate, the wave propagates along only one coordinate, one-dimensional wave. We can say that this wave propagation parameter is named as wave number, because it is scalar, not vector. In general case, for three-dimensional case, it is vector. For one-dimensional, this is one-dimensional case, only one coordinate, so it is one dimension, only one coordinate z. This is scalar, and this is wave number. For the wave equation, it was defined in such a way. So this parameter, wave number, depends on absolutely the main parameters of the medium, of the material, of metamaterial. We discussed the absolute value and size will define this wave number as well as the wave length. So for both, because the wave equations are the same for electric part and magnetic part, so and solution is also that are quite similar. And this presentation may be written in this form. This is a unit vector which is directed along its x-axis. For magnetic part, again, this is the unit vector directed along y-axis. And both parameters depend on time and coordinate. For double negative metamaterial, K is negative. The same case as diffraction index. You remember, diffraction index we have defined as square root of this product of epsilon. The same is here. So if we find K for negative parameters epsilon and mu, then K will be negative. And if we use this form, then this derivatives are defined by this simple way. Hope you remember how it can be. And now about right-handed and left-handed materials. So, for positive parameters, epsilon positive, we have forward plate electromagnetic wave, or right-handed electromagnetic wave. Why? If we use this definition, then we can present the Maxwell equations for plane electromagnetic wave, very simple electromagnetic wave equation, in such a way. K, if you use this vector form, K is the vector along z direction, because the K corresponds, the direction of K corresponds to the wave propagation direction. So what we have in this case? The plane electromagnetic wave consists of two components, electric and magnetic. They are orthogonal, perpendicular to each other, because we have only X component of electric field and only Y component of magnetic field. They are orthogonal. And this is the direction of propagation. Direction of propagation of the electromagnetic wave, all the energy transfer is presented by Poynting vector. You can see this is a Poynting vector, is defined in such a way. We can substitute using this ratio and using only one-dimensional case. We can replace this H parameter, magnetic field, by E using these equations. And what we see, the Poynting vector and K have the same direction. So this wave number, K, or wave vector, in general case, has the same direction as the Poynting vector. And here we use the right-hand rule. What we should do? We have vertical component electric field, horizontal component of the magnetic field. When we go from E to H, we go in this direction, and this finger shows the direction of wave direction. Right hand, it is shown here. It is not for me so easy, better to show as I have done. So this is, you see, from E to H we go by such a way, and this is the direction of electromagnetic wave propagation, and it shows where the electromagnetic wave travels. If we consider backward plane electromagnetic wave, we have to use negative parameters, mu and epsilon. The same equations, but negative parameters. And I have shown that K is negative, because the square root from negative epsilon and negative mu gives the negative value. So K is negative. This is left-handed material. So you can see what we have here. K is negative. That means that the K goes in opposite direction. We have to use left-handed rule. So if we go from E to H as shown here, from vertical electric field, horizontal magnetic field, and the left hand shows that the electromagnetic wave goes in opposite direction. K shows the direction of the wave propagation. So this is left-handed rule. And for Poynting vector, if you use these equations, we will obtain that the Poynting vector is equal to minus this value. So that means that K and S are antiparallel. Wave number is antiparallel to the direction of energy transfer to the Poynting vector. So we have right-handed material, left-handed material, or backward wave, forward wave. There are different parameters, and they are defined by signs of this parameter epsilon and mu. In case of metamaterial of this artificial structure, we use effective parameters. And let's go a lot of parameters, but it is very important. I will try to explain. What the parameters we have here? First of all, characteristic or wave impedance of electromagnetic wave. What is this? This is the ratio. We have the plane wave electromagnetic wave. Only one electric component, only one magnetic component, which are orthogonal. Ratio of these two parameters corresponds to dimension of impedance. Impedance сопротивления. Impedance resistance, активное сопротивление, reactance реактивное, а impedance любой. Impedance characteristic impedance is measured in ohms. And for the components that we have defined for an electromagnetic wave, this parameter is defined again by these parameters, mu and epsilon. And it doesn't matter, are they positive or are they negative? In any case, this parameter is positive. Because both positive, plus plus, or minus minus will be positive value. So, for forward wave or for backward wave, the wave impedance is the same and is defined by the ratio of these parameters. If you change these parameters, the characteristic impedance will be also changed. Now, this wave number, it may be for forward wave is positive and for backward wave. If you use these negative parameters, it will be negative. I have shown you by this transformation. Now phase velocity, very important parameter. If we have the electromagnetic wave, I have shown that this parameter is defined as phase. Okay. So you can see this is the phase which depends on time and coordinate. This is the phase. For electric or magnetic field, it doesn't matter. This is the phase. Now we keep this phase constant. Time is variable, coordinate Z is variable. Nevertheless, we keep this parameter, this phase, constant. So, what does it mean? For example, I have chosen this phase, which corresponds to maximum. Next time, next period of time, it will be shifted. Okay? But I can movement of this point. Because the wave moves, it propagates. So each point is shifted. And the next moment in time, it will be shifted. So if I keep it constant, that means that I try to find what is the velocity of movement or propagation of this constant phase. I will show you the simple procedure.